no lick back because they don't see you or feel you anyway. It's going to be a never-ending cycle of trying to prove a point that they don't care about. And I'm telling you, they don't care. They don't care. Just leave. Hey girlies, it's Rachel from Heal Thy Homegirl, and I am here with another video. Today we are going to discuss Dania Jackson, which is the wife of Derek Jackson, and we're going to discuss the podcast that she did on Dear Future Wifey. You all, I just took some points from it and I just want to go over it because it's healing season. This is Heal Thy Homegirl, where all my homegirls come to heal, and I just want us to get straight into it. But before we do, like the video because you're going to love it. If you're healing, if you're trying to make better decisions in life, you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel, girl, so you can get everything healing, self-love, creating the life you want. And go over and click the link in my bio so you can sign up for my email list so you can get everything that you need that Heal Thy Homegirl puts out. You all, I want to get straight into the video. Dania Jackson was on a podcast, Dear Future Wifey, where she discussed her relationship with Derek Jackson. And I just want to go over some things that I took from there that I think will be helpful. I believe it'll be very helpful for us because you all, I'm the type of person that likes to learn, right? I like to pay attention and I like to learn. And there were some things that we can definitely take from the podcast that she was on. There were a lot of lessons in there, but girl, let's just get straight into it. So number one, Dania said that she did not take the time to heal. Girlies, if you follow me on any of my platforms, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, even over here, I got some videos that I'm putting up. I'm about to get really consistent over here on YouTube, you all. It's about to go down this healing season. But if you follow any of my platforms, I am really big on healing, right? We need to heal. So Dania said that she did not take the time to heal from a that she experienced before she went into this relationship with Derek. So she didn't take the time to tend to herself. She didn't take the time to be there for her. She didn't take the time to explore those emotions that she had, those belief systems that she now created, which were an extension from this. She did not take the time to go over the work that she needed to do before she opened herself up to Derek Jackson, right? Girlies, it is so important that you take the time to heal, right? It is so important that we take the time to heal because healing helps us to make better decisions. Healing helps us to see what it is that we need to work on within. Healing really changes our life. Like, girl, I don't live the same life that I used to live, right? My life has changed, and that's on healing. That's on healing, right? So Dania did not take the time to heal from what she experienced, a very traumatizing experience, before she moved on in this relationship with him. So I'm very vulnerable and I come into this relationship with somebody and I didn't take the time to heal. No, I'm not going to be coming from a wise place. No, I'm not going to be coming from a place where I'm going to do what's best for me. When somebody does something like basically takes you, right, and does what they want to do with you, that is painful. That is extremely painful, and that can do a number on your brain, on your belief systems, on the way you see yourself, on the way you operate. And she did not take the time to heal before she moved on into this relationship with Derek. Okay, ladies, number two, she got into a relationship 3 weeks after she experienced something that was traumatic to her. Even if she had not experienced something that was traumatic, you all, we can all take from this, or I'll say even if you haven't just recently experienced anything that is traumatic, we have all experienced things in our lives that have shaped us in a way where we are now wounded. So we make decisions like this in sabotage. We make decisions that align with it. So I had to work on my abandonment issues when I was healing. I would constantly do things to make sure that I was abandoned, right? I didn't realize this is what I was doing. I didn't know. I was just operating from my programming. It wasn't until I went deep and I did the work that I realized I'm always making sure that I'm abandoned, though that is something that was traumatizing to me. And though I don't want to feel it anymore, I keep opening myself up to it. So you don't have to recently be traumatized to know that hopping from one relationship to the next ain't it, sis. It's just not. Why can we never take the time to go to ourselves, right? Why does it always have to be, I'm going to go to the next relationship? I'm going to go to the next man. Why can't it be, this relationship wasn't right? I saw some stuff that wasn't right. I was trying to look away or trying to make myself believe that it was good, I'm going to go to me. I'm going to spend some time with me. I don't need to go to another man. I'm going to go to me. She went to another relationship in order to have her needs fulfilled when she needed to go to herself. And far too often, I see women saying that, like, I just go to the next one. I just go to the next one. Well, sis, until you go to yourself, the next one is going to feel like the last one. And the next one after that is going to feel like the one that you just left. It's going to be a never-ending cycle. I promise you that you need to heal. Number 3. So one thing that I love about this, and I love that she was able to speak about it. It seems like she's been doing some healing because she wasn't coming from a place of bitterness and resentment. She did not seem like she was like upset. She was able to speak about it and she was able to hold herself accountable. Now, I don't know if this is real because the girls are talking on YouTube. I've seen some videos where they are talking about how her and Derek Jackson are like conspiring to put the wool back over women's eyes again because she's doing coaching for like $1,000 or $3,000. I don't know. And she's not out of this her own self. So how is she going to help other women to heal? And they may be working together. We don't know that that's a fact, but I will go for what I saw in this video. This looked like a woman who had accepted the fact that she put herself in this predicament. She was pointing out the stuff that she looked over, the things that she did not want to see, the lies that she told herself, and she was able to talk about the things that he did to her, and she didn't have any bitterness, any resentment. It didn't seem like any heaviness. I really like her personality. She was really open. She was extremely vulnerable. So I really believe that one thing we can take when it comes from that is to do the work. I see somebody and say, you know, it looks like she's healing. I don't know the girl personally, but it looks like she's healing. You all, and when we are healing, we are able to leave all that burden behind. So I don't have to talk about how you wronged me and talk about it how like it just happened yesterday, right? I don't need to talk about how you wronged me and go and tell everybody because I need the validation. I need people to know what you did to me because I need this. Like, I'm healing. I'm freeing myself from this, right? So I don't need that. I'm freeing myself from this burden so I don't feel burdened when I speak about it. And that's what I see from that. Ladies, that is something that you can really take from it because far too often you hold on to the mess and then you're upset and you talk about it over and over again and you weighed down and you burnt out and you're tired and it's like, we're going to go back to number 1 and number 2. It's time to heal, sis. It's time to heal. All right. Number 4, y'all. So Dania identified that they were not in a stable, committed relationship. She said herself it was on and off, on and off. She said it was like a situationship. Girlies, I have a video that I did like, probably 3 years ago now when I got into my healing journey. And I realized that I used to always do situationships, right? Because they made me feel good and bad. But they made me feel good in a way that I was emotionally unavailable. I was not trying to open up. I did not want anything that was, close and intimate. So being in situationships gave me the I feel like I'm in a relationship when I'm really not, And I really need you all to identify if that's a game that you're really trying to play. Because that is a game that Dania signed up for over and over again. And she said that she knew it. She knew that it was not a stable relationship. It was a situationship. But she stayed on board for it. It is so important that you know exactly what it is you want. Girl, do you want a situationship? Do you want a relationship? Do you want long-term commitment? Do you want marriage? Do you want an open relationship? What is it that you want? You need to be very sure about what it is that you want so that when you're going out here, you're not getting tripped up in a situationship on and off. Anything that's on and off is unhealthy. It's on and off. That's no security in on and off. There's no stability in on and off. It is very unhealthy, right? So you need to know what type of relationship you want. And when somebody pull up with anything other than what you want, you need to get out of there because that's not for you. Okay, you all, next. So Dania said that she was a straight A, smart student, but then she talked about herself in so many negative ways, like she was pimply. She didn't feel like she was that girl. But then she saw honey Mr. Derek and she was like, hello, sir. How are you? And she, at that moment, placed him above her. She felt like he was superior, right? So she says he's a narcissist, and if you are dealing with a narcissist, that's like really good. Like, you're bait for them. You're exactly what they want because you don't even see yourself as feeling good, and they have this need to feel like they are so superior. So she played right into his game, and she did not really she did not really speak highly of herself. She didn't see herself as highly. You all, Important thing during your healing journey, you're going to hear healing, 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 healing. That's all you're going to hear that's going to come out over here on Heal Down Home Girl, because we're doing big healing over here, okay? One thing that you want to do is work on your confidence. You want to work on your self-esteem. You want to work on your self-love. Because when you are out here in the world, not just when you are dealing with men, but when you do not value yourself as high, and when I say as high, I'm not talking about how much money you make. I'm not talking about the type of clothes you wear. I'm not talking about the type of car you drive. I'm not talking about any businesses that you're building. I'm talking about what comes from within, right? Because at the end of the day, she was young. She had pimples on her face. That's something that we go through, right? She had acne. She can't do anything about that right there at that moment. However, if I'm confident within, I don't care how many pimples I have. If I say I'm that girl, I'm that girl. That's what that is, right? So I need you to work on your self-esteem, your love of self, your self-acceptance, right? Your value. How do you value yourself from within? How you value yourself from within, it's going to show up without, right? So that you're not out here placing people above you. Because a lot of times what will happen when you're in a wounded space is you deal with somebody who does not treat you right, but you just see that as a privilege that you're able to deal with them. Like, it's a privilege that I get to deal with him. It's a privilege that he wants to be with me. It's a privilege that I have him over here, right? And that's because I don't feel like I'm good enough. So I see him as a privilege. And why would I ever mess up a privilege when I'm dealing with a man, right? And I feel like he's that man. She said he was fire. Like, he was fire. When I'm dealing with a man and he's that man, right? He's that guy to me. I'm not going to mess that up if I feel like it's a privilege for me to deal with him and I feel like I'm lowly when it comes to him, right? Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a man that's a good man to you and you feel like this is such a gift to you. That's a beautiful thing, sis. However, how do you feel about yourself? Do you feel like you're a gift to him too? Right? Because if not, there's no balance and you're looking at yourself like, I'm not good enough and I'm just so enamored to have him in my life. Like, I just feel like I won a lottery with him. He's a hot commodity and I'm nothing. And that's not healthy. So you need to heal. And work on your self-love, work on your confidence, how you feel about yourself. Hold on, y'all. Let me take some water, honey. Y'all, I have my chlorophyll in my water. One of my friends bought me some chlorophyll. I thought it was nasty, but it's not. It tastes like a mint. He might have got me the mint brand. I don't know. But you need to feel sure of yourself, right? Because when you do not, you will easily get caught up in a trap of someone who sees themselves as up here. Honestly, you all, a lot of times when people see themselves as superior, that's coming from a place of inferiority within. Because I don't need to place myself over top of anybody. I'm on my journey. I'm in my lane. What you're doing is none of my business. I'm focused on where I'm going. And I don't have to feel like I'm over anybody else. I know that I'm enough. I know that I'm a lot. I know that I'm a prize. I know that I'm a gift. I know that I'm a blessing. I know all of those things. But that doesn't mean that I'm better than you. So when you don't see yourself as enough, you're going to get wrapped up in that game with somebody who tries to feed off of somebody who doesn't see themselves as enough so that they can feel higher. And that is what Dania did. She played right into that game with him. Let's get to the next one, ladies. So Dania said she had no boundaries, no standards. She didn't know they exist. She didn't even know how to speak up. And let's be honest, girlies. Before I got on my healing journey 4.5 years ago, yes, I'm going to keep saying a number. That's a lot of work, girl. Me going towards me, working on me, that's a big thing. I'm going to keep on saying that number 4.5 years. Yes. Dania said that she did not have boundaries. She did not know they exist. I didn't know boundaries exist either. Girl, I be setting boundaries all the time now, and I feel so good when I'm setting boundaries because, yes, that's a boundary right there. You're going to respect it or you got to go, right? So Dania did not set boundaries, and then she didn't have standards. I did not have standards either. I remember sitting in therapy, girl, back in 2019, and I was in this toxic relationship at the time, and my therapist asked me, like, what is it that you want in a man? Like, I didn't even know. So I didn't have standards for myself. I didn't have standards for what it is that I look for in a man. I didn't have any of that, right? You need to have standards. Let's start with the standards that you have for yourself, right? We know you're on your way to get a man. We know because you're on your healing journey. You're going to work. You're going to get there. But I need you to work on the standards that you have for yourself. What standards do you have for yourself? I'm talking to you, girl. Let me know what standards. If you have standards for yourself, then you can run them off. That is one of the laws that you live by in your world, in your universe. You have standards and you know what they are. Let me know what your standards are. Do you have standards? What boundaries do you have when it comes to you, right? How can others interact with you? How should they? And then how do you interact with yourself and then others? What boundaries do you have? It is so important, you all, that we have standards and boundaries. Girl, when I got standards and boundaries, it was like the blueprint for my life. It set a very firm foundation for not only what I allow into my life, but how I operate my life. So when my therapist asked me, what is it that I'm looking for a man? I don't even know. So I'm just out here. And if somebody reflects my wounds back to me, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with them, right? Because I'm always dealing off of dysfunction. So I didn't really know, he needs to be financially literate. He needs to be emotionally available. He needs to be compassionate. I didn't know any of this stuff. He needs to have integrity. I was not operating like that. I did not have standards, and I surely didn't have boundaries, right? So you need to have standards and you need to have boundaries. It is a part of the blueprint for your life. Now, let's go a little further. A lot of y'all like to look on social media to figure out what your standards and your boundaries should be. Babes, that's something that you're going to have to go within and do. You can do it with your therapist. You can do it with your coach. You can do it with your wise counsel, right? If you need somebody to just go ahead and bounce ideas off of, or you need somebody to just walk through it with you. But don't go out here trying to see what somebody else's standards and boundaries are, because then you start to get on their journey and you start to get off your own. Take some time to sit with yourself. Figure out what it is that you want for yourself, right? Because I believe it is so important that we have standards for ourselves. Figure out the standards that you want for others, right? If I'm going to go out here and I'm going to go dating, how should a man carry himself? How should he carry himself? What is it that I'm looking for in him? What am I identifying by the way his behaviors, the way he shows up, the way he speaks, the way he dresses, all of that, the way he eats, all of that. What standards do you have, right? What do you have for yourself? How do you dress? How do you speak? What do you hang around? What do you listen to, right? Who are you allowing in your life? How do you eat? Do you work out? What standards do you hold yourself to? You need standards and boundaries, and you need them today. All right, girls, let's go to the next one. So Dania had said she was trying to get her lick back, and let me tell y'all why I just really need y'all to rest on trying to get y'all lick back. Just stop trying to get your lick back, because a lot of times what you're doing is what Dania Jackson did, and you're trying to get your lick back from somebody who does not care. Okay? Let me say that again. You're trying to get your lick back from somebody who does not care. Derek did not see her or feel her. She was literally a pawn in his game, right? So getting your lick back for what? So y'all try to do that, I'm a cheat back and all this, and you only using yourself. Now, the way you're being used by that person, you just doing the same thing. You're reflecting that same behavior. You're using yourself. I'm going to use myself to get my lick back instead of walking away. That's why we go back to when we just talked about standards and boundaries. What are your standards? What are your boundaries, right? A standard that I have is play with me if you want to. Disrespect me in a way that we said that we're not doing that. Disrespect me in a way that is disrespectful when you know it, and I'm gone. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing that game with you, okay? I'm not cheating back. I'm not trying to get no lick back, because a lot of times when you try to get a lick back, first off, if you have to get a lick back, that means that somebody has treated you in a way that is hurtful or harmful, right? So we need to go back to the drawing board on how this person even feels about you anyway, you all, right? Because when we love, honor, and respect people, and that person love, honor, and respects themselves, you move with integrity, right? You move with honor. You move with care. You don't sit up here and do hurtful things to people, so you never have to get your lick back when you're not in a space where you feel like somebody's attacking you. Safe spaces, ladies. No lick back, because they don't see you or feel you anyway. It's going to be a never-ending cycle of trying to prove a point that they don't care about. And I'm telling you, they don't care. They don't care. Just leave. Okay? And the last one, girlies. So Dania said that he proposed to her. They had that one baby, and it was this engagement. They had that house and everything, and she did what a lot of women out here do, and it is you ignore all the red flags, all the danger signs, and you go forward and you have the babies and you get married because you want this family, right? I understand. You want a family. You want the kids. You want the husband. You want the house. You want the American dream. However, you're not being honest with yourself about what is going on right in front of you. So you sign up to be stressed out. You sign up to be dragged down. You sign up for an illusion that is not a part of your reality because it is a fallacy. It does not exist. All because I want this American dream. And that is what she did. She said, I knew that it wasn't right, but I really wanted this. And I work with women. I hear them say that all the time. Like, I'm going to block out all of the problems because I want that ring, sis. I want that ring. You see my ring? Is that the right hand? Left? I don't know. You see my ring? You're bringing all of your problems, the problems that everybody else sees, the problems that you're making yourself believe don't exist, the problems that you believe are going to go away once you say, I do, sis. That's not how it works. So you can want your American dream. You can want your house and your kids and you want that family. That's fine. That's not a problem with that. But let's go about it the right way. Let's go and heal. Let's go do the work. And then let's move forward because we are far more likely to choose a healthy partner when we are coming from a healthy place. Y'all, that is my video. Those are things that you can take from the video with Dania Jackson where she talks about her very toxic relationship with her husband, Derek Jackson. You all don't forget to like the video, subscribe, click my link. Sign up for my email list. Girl, it's healing season. It's everything healed at home, girl. I'm Rachel, you all, and I had a good time talking with you all today. Until the next time, girls.